All right, let's dive in. If you're building anything with AI in 2026, you're looking at a wild landscape, just packed with amazing open source language models. But, with so many options out there, how do you even begin to choose? Well, in this explainer, we're going to map out the absolute best contenders on the field today. So, right off the bat, every single AI team has to make this fundamental choice. Using a proprietary API, that's kind of like renting a car. Yeah, it's fast, it's easy, but it's never really yours. Open source, on the other hand, is like owning and custom tuning your own vehicle. You get total control, you can guarantee data privacy, you manage the costs, and you're never ever locked into someone else's roadmap. It's really about taking the wheel of your own AI destiny. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get crystal clear on that choice between open and closed. Then, the fun part, we'll meet the top contenders of 2026. After that, we'll break down exactly how to choose your champion, really understand the strategic advantage of going open source, and finally, look at what comes after you pick a model.
Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, understanding the landscape. Because before we can pick the best model, we've got to know exactly what we're choosing between.
There's this subtle but really crucial difference between open weights and true open source. You'll hear these terms thrown around. Open weights just means the model's parameters are public, which is great. But true open source, according to the Open Source Initiative, also shares the training code and the data. Now, for most of us developers, the main takeaway is this. Both let you download, self-host, and fine-tune. And that freedom, that's what we're really focusing on today.
All right, on to section 2. Let's meet the titans. The field is seriously crowded, so to make any sense of it all, we're going to break down the top models by what they do best, their greatest strengths. Our first category is all about raw brain power, frontier-level reasoning. These are the models you bring in when you have to solve the toughest, most complex problems you can throw at them. And leading this pack is DeepSeek v3.2. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. It delivers that top-tier reasoning, but with incredible efficiency. It's purpose-built for agentic workflows and using tools. And get this, for the really extreme challenges, its Speciala variant pushes right into Gemini 3.0 Pro territory. Best part? It's fully open source with a super permissive MIT license. Next up, let's talk about the specialists. Our next category is for the coding and agent experts. Think of these as your specialized engineers, built from the ground up for software development and autonomous tasks. And in this arena, Kimi K2 is a real standout. Its agent-first design was trained on a massive, massive scale of simulated tool use, which just goes to show how much that specialized training really pays off. In fact, Vercel's CEO mentioned that in their internal tests, it ran up to 5 times faster and was 50% more accurate than some top proprietary models. That is a total game changer. Okay, but what if you need a model that can do a little bit of everything and do it all exceptionally well? Well, that brings us to our third category, the all-round generalist. I want you to meet QWen3235B. This model is an absolute beast when it comes to versatility. It delivers state-of-the-art performance pretty much across the board, but its killer features? An ultra-long context window that can stretch to over 1 million tokens, and fantastic support for over 100 languages. It's the perfect go-to for general chat, RAG systems, and all sorts of creative applications. Our final stop on this tour is for models that see the world like we do, in both images and text. This is our natively multimodal category. And here, Meta's Llama 4 Maverick is the undisputed champion. It offers best-in-class performance, and on many benchmarks, it even outperforms models like GPT-4o. But what's really incredible is its efficiency. The FP8 version can run on a single H100 GPU host, so you're getting top-tier power combined with practical, responsible deployment. So, we've met the big players. Now for the really crucial part in Section 3. How do you actually choose your champion? Let's walk through a practical framework to help you decide. Okay, this slide right here, this is your cheat sheet. Think of it as a starting point, not the final word. If your main goal is frontier reasoning, start with DeepSeek v3.2 Special. For agentic workflows, you're looking at Kimi K2. For general chat, Qwen 3 is your go-to. This table basically maps all the use cases we've been talking about directly to the best models to start your evaluation with. Now, in Section 4, let's just zoom out for a second. Why does choosing open source even matter? This isn't just some technical choice you make, it's a deeply strategic one. The strategic edge is just so clear. With open source, you can fine-tune a model on your own private data, to create a product voice that is uniquely yours. You control data security end to end. You can optimize for cost, getting rid of those recurring API fees. You get to tap into a global community of innovators. And maybe most importantly, you are in complete control of your own destiny, totally free from vendor lock-in.
And hey, if you're worried about falling behind the cutting edge, consider this. According to some incredible research from Epoch AI, the performance gap between the best open-weight models and the state-of-the-art proprietary ones is now only about 3 months. 3 months! The playing field has seriously never been more level. And that brings us to our final, and I think most important point in Section 5, building a lasting edge. Because the model you choose today, that's just the very beginning of the story.
Real, defensible, long-term differentiation comes from what you do with the model. By curating your own high-quality proprietary data, fine-tuning a smaller, more efficient model on it, and then optimizing your inference pipeline, you can create something truly unique. A specialized, smaller model can absolutely run circles around a generic giant on your specific tasks, giving you this powerful, cost-effective advantage that no one can copy.
So let's just end with this question. Chasing the latest and greatest model is a temporary game. The real challenge and the real opportunity is to build a strategy around your data, around specialization, and around optimization that is truly built to last. So is your strategy built to last?